Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Herbal Tea Thursday. I got some spearmint tea in my Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast mug. Y'all, it's your healthy habits and lifestyle coach, Giovanni, host of the Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast. What's up, Shireen?
Hi, everyone. It's the last Thursday. It's Boxing Day. And I'm your girl, Shireen from Perspective Studio Productions, Voices and Vibes and Black Print. And I am just drinking some water with some ginger tea, instant honey ginger tea. I just poured some of the crystals and shook it up in some water. Cheers. Bam, bam. And I am in my house.
And I'm in my in-home studio.
And I am not trying to leave today.
Girl, I know that's
right. I had two clients. I had a client. But listen, book your day off. Like, it's Christmas and then it's sleeping on Boxing Day, especially if you were up cooking. Book an unapologetic day off. All I want to do today, Giovanni, is wake up and fall back asleep.
I didn't even know it was Boxing Day.
Put a movie on and fall back asleep. Oh, it is Boxing Day. The day after Christmas is always Boxing Day.
I didn't know.
Really? So
the truth.
I felt so tired and lazy to even put up my Boxing Day offer. Right? Like, I put it up there. I actually created the banner. It was nothing.
So when you just said your Boxing Day offer, I'm still over here thinking like the sport of boxing. Like, I didn't even know you're talking about something else. So if there's anybody like me, what is Boxing Day, Spring?
What? Okay, hold on. You guys have Boxing Day in the U.S., don't you?
It's possible. Maybe I just don't.
Okay, true. You do. Boxing Day is the day after Christmas, is always when the big sales are. So sure, they have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but Boxing Day used to be seen as like the biggest shopping day. Now Black Friday, Cyber Monday is the biggest shopping day. But so there's basically the fourth quarter is shop, but the 3 days where people are going to spend, and as a business owner where we need to put something out there to get people to spend, is Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Boxing Day. And most retailers have their Boxing Day, like retailers are becoming earlier and earlier, putting out their offers earlier. So a lot of retailers have been putting out their Boxing Day sales since last week. I meant to do mine since Monday, the 23rd. But I did mine today, and I had my offer prepared. I was just doing the same 20% that I did, and on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And some people don't even go as deep on Boxing Day. Like, some retailers don't even go as deep on Boxing Day as they go on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, because you might give your best offer of the year on that day. I have seen some people give the same offer. I'm giving the same offer because 20% is as deep as I can go. So either you take it or you leave it, right? And then as like coaches and things like that, I'm not a coach, but the way I feel like I really benefited, I'm an offline coach. I'm not an online promotion coach. Offline, I'm coaching a lot of people. We're going to talk about some changes in the new year. Because it's officially now becoming a service. Maybe not a coach, but there'll be a service. So that I'm not giving out ideas for free. But a lot of coaches, for me, I was going to say, this is a great time to pick up the phone and be like, hey, Susie Q. Remember when you said you were interested? Hey, Susie Q. Hey, Mark. Hey, Bobby, Ronnie, Ricky, and Mike. Call them all up. And if you put out your offer for Boxing Day today, like, if you didn't put it out early, or if you did put it out early, run it for a particular time. Mine will run until, I don't know what's going on with me. Mine will run until probably Monday. So I didn't do any calls today. I did make some money. I didn't do any calls today, but hey, I'll shoot. But I will. Oh, I'm in the wrong chat. I'm in the private chat, but I will make calls tomorrow. So don't feel like you missed the opportunity. You go back to your people that are on that list that once said, you know, Joe, I've been thinking about it, or I downloaded this and they didn't take a net. Go and call them and be like, what up? You know what? We're offering this deal. Run back the play from back Fridays. You don't need to overthink at this point. We got this deal coming out. Like, we have this deal, and I just wanted you to be able to take advantage of it. I posted something that said something along the lines like, it's a great time to be reflecting, or as you're reflecting, you might be like looking at all the things that you might have a lot of things on your mind. It's a great time to get on the mic and get them out, or go
Mm.
reflect on your journal and get those out on the mic. Buy today and talk tomorrow. That was what I put in my Instagram. As a matter of fact, I didn't remember to put in my story. I'm so tired. I was just like, look, what can I say? Go. So anyhow, that's
Well,
that.
I like that you started it off by saying like scheduling your off day. I think that's a big thing. One of the things that my one of my coaches says is like have a routine, and in your routine, make sure you have time for yourself. And so even if it's not a day that you built in for yourself, even throughout your day, making sure that you have time for you, because you're not, as like you said, creative. You talked about like being a coach or a mentor when you're helping people strategize their next step. You're not going to be as creative when you're tired, when you're already running on fumes and you're overwhelmed. Like you're your most creative when you've taken care of yourself, when you
Yeah.
are upbeat, you're rested, your nutrients are in there, you're vibrant, your mood is on point. And so taking care of you needs to be a part of your routine, and it needs to be something that is regularly addressed,
Yeah.
just so you can, be your best. So I like that you talked about that. Thank you for breaking down Boxing Day, because I really, like, when you said it, I automatically went to the sport. I had no idea it was about offers or sales. And I also heard too, like a lot of times people will put the same thing that they had on sale for Black Friday or Cyber Monday right back after for Christmas, or right after
The
Christmas, the
Boxing
right
Day.
after
Yeah.
Christmas sale. And so it seems like it makes sense now that you said it. Like I learned that
Yeah.
if Boxing Day was something new to you, make sure y'all say that in the comments, because it was
Yeah.
definitely new to me. Maybe it was just
Well,
me by myself. I don't know. But I
um,
appreciate you for breaking that down. You gonna
yeah.
check in?
In 2 seconds. As a
Okay.
shopper, when I was younger,
Hmm?
Boxing Days when we would go, like we would save our Christmas money as kids and go to the malls the next day so you can shop, because that was when the best deals would happen, right?
Ah,
So it was like, as a consumer, yeah, let me get out there and get, what can I get? What can I get? That's when you're going to look for your new clothes, anything you did not get, but you got that Christmas money, you go shop on Boxing Day, right? Now,
I didn't
and a
get a
lot of
lot of
people,
Christmas money.
yeah, and a
And I
lot of
think
people,
when I did go to the mall, I just went to the food court.
well, well, all that too. Hey, anything you want to eat, see if they got some sales.
That, or like
Um,
CDs.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, okay, so I should refer back to the. It's important to schedule time for you so you can easily be, because you can easily become burnt out. But more
Agreed.
so as we're winding down the year, sure you have your schedule, but more so as we're winding down the year, sometimes you become creative while you're resting. Right, that's when the creative juices
Mhm.
actually also come. But like more so, we just finished a whole year. Like, we're almost at the 365 mark. So, more so, some people are either out of school right now, they're not working. Today, some people, if they're working, because it's a statutory holiday. But if you're not working, sorry, if you are working, you're working time and a half. If you schedule some time, take a day, find one. Sure, you're going to have your pockets of breaks, your naps, and all, but just take a day where it's okay to wake up and fall back asleep, turn on a movie and not even see the movie. Let the TV watch you, like doom scroll and fall asleep. I fell asleep with whatever I fell asleep to. They got so much views off of me because that thing was playing and playing and now that's not the healthiest thing, but fall asleep and wake up and have nothing to do.
Yeah, I
No.
don't do it as well falling asleep with the TV on as much as I do with like the frequencies. Like if I have a good
Mhm.
frequency on that might have rain, like that helps me really just kind of fall asleep and reach a different realm than I
Yeah.
probably would have had I had the TV on
Yeah,
or
the
not in
TV.
my bed or
Yeah.
like something like that.
Yeah.
But what you made me think of was January, because you talked about that year, it made me think about a podcast episode I recorded in January with Larnisha. She had her endometriosis journey of strength, but she also had a stroke. And so she was
Okay.
talking about that. And she said after having like overwhelming, unmanaged stress and the stroke and the pain and not being heard of for her endometriosis journey, she was like, now every single month she has a Larnisha day. Like she has claimed every month, there's one day in
Mhm.
the month that she's going to take for herself and do whatever it is that she needs to do, whether she has the resources for it or not. She's going to commit to it because she deserves to have that one day out of the month to just celebrate her and do all the things to take care of her, regardless of what that looks like. And so that
Yeah.
came to mind when you mentioned that about
Yeah.
like taking a day, even if you don't already routinely schedule in your self-care throughout the day, but making sure
Mhm.
you have that one day out the week, one day out the month, time for you, time
Yeah.
for you, because it is needed. And so many times, and that's another thing, because I know we're coming out of the holidays. A lot of times
I'm not
people are
coming out of the holidays. I just got into the holidays.
okay, well, stay in it.
I'm trying.
A lot of people, there's a lot of grief in holiday season as
Yeah.
well. And when you are ignoring your body's signals and you're not prioritizing your wellness and you thinking that you have time when you really don't know if you have that time that you think you might have,
Mhm.
start taking care of you, loving on you, the best
Mhm.
that you can, because you are a priority. And so I just kind of wanted to say that because we typically kind of get into that space where we neglect ourselves and we don't prioritize our wellness. And then don't forget, like we say it's herbal tea Thursday, and we like to make sure we have some herbal tea while we're talking. But at the same time, it's a wellness live series. You know, we both have wellness brands, and we just want you to make sure that you are taking care of you. What's up, Miss Monica?
Hi, Monica. Yeah.
All right, you
So
ready to check this in?
I am. I
Okay.
am. So I just opened up my email
All
to
right,
find
let's
the
get it.
message that was sent for today. Oh, I got to cough one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. The decisions, and I have not read this, the decisions I make today align with my gut feelings. My intuition is guiding my every move, and the path ahead is opening up for me naturally in a big way. So I'll give it to you one more time, and I'll actually drop
Yes,
it in the
you know
chat.
what word stood out to me?
What's that?
Gut, because that's what we just talked about last
Last
week.
week.
Yeah, and we were
Yeah.
just talking about wellness.
Hold on. So let's see if I can get this here for you. Uh,
And while Shireen is pulling that up, y'all, please make sure you check our show notes and subscribe to both of our channels. We appreciate the support and the love.
hmm So the decisions I make today align with my gut feelings. My intuition is guiding my every move, and the path ahead is opening up for me naturally in a big way. And I love the message because one, my gut said, "Sleep, girl, sleep." And I didn't actually mean sleep with the TV on. I mean like be watching something. Let your body flop. Let your body flop and just relax. Whether you do it like don't do too much. Eat some of them leftovers. Whatever you got to do, just get your rest. Especially one other thing I want to add is like we are in the colder, I'm up north from where you are, so we are in the colder seasons, and we actually got a storm this week. um and so I'm actually just coming off of being sick for the past 2 weeks, and I'm still tired, right?
Mm.
So um I'm still kind of just getting my energy back, or trying to get my energy back. So just rest, because this is the time where you're going to need that sleep. But yeah, so that's it. We checked in,
Agreed.
girly.
Thank you for checking us in, Shireen. So now we're getting into our wellness wins, y'all. our wellness win for the week. We don't want you to miss out on the opportunity to acknowledge your resilience and the way you show up for you. So just one wellness win, drop it into the comments. Shireen, wellness win for me for this week, I'm going to go with, I went to bed early. Like when I was tired and I was ready to go to sleep, and because I am on a winter break from my job, my job, I was able to go to sleep early. And when I went to sleep early, I got up early, of course. You know, like my body was like, okay, you got enough sleep, and it'll be like 3 o'clock in the morning. And once I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I really started talking to, you know, my other teammates, and really started brainstorming and coming up with different creative things in regards to like the business, the system, the vision. And I really enjoyed going to sleep early, getting in that rest, and then being able to be my most creative self early in the wee morning hours, because it just felt good. And it made what everyone always says, you're your creative self when you get your rest and you take care of you. It's so much more vibrant. Like you're not sitting here struggling or pulling from what you're seeing other people doing as often, because you're able to really just be inspired by you and what you just wake up wanting to do after being rested. And so it felt good to get in some good rest, go to sleep early, take naps if I want to take naps. So it's just been a vibe to be able to really go to sleep early and just wake up and do what I want to do for me. And reflect in regards to what I'm creating in regards to my brand. And so I think that's pretty dope. What's your wellness?
No, that's good. That's good, especially because you're also getting your rest, but you're also getting to use your time wisely, and you feel while you're off from the daytime job. So it's good to feel that productivity as well.
And not
For
being
me,
drained of energy by so many kids that I already deal with on a regular
yeah,
basis. Like
right.
less people, less energy taxing.
Yeah. Monica says she hopes I get some good sleep tonight. Girl, so do I. I Yeah, I have an early morning tomorrow too. I have been getting some sleep, but because I've been sick, I've been on medication. And the funny thing is, like, I'm feeling better, right? My energy's still
Good.
low, and I'm still taking the antibiotics. But when I go to have like a little bit of junk, excuse me, because I've been sick, my taste buds are not feeling for the junk because I have to, right?
Mm.
So it's like because I had to like refrain from the things that were causing like mucus and stuff like that. So when now it's like, oh, I want a little chocolate, or you know what, I just want, and I like take small proportions of things. So even if I want like a small little bowl of chips or something, and I was eating the chips and I was like, this don't taste right. Like I couldn't even finish. I just dumped the rest. This is not it. This is just not it. Um, which will make me turn and take like something healthier, like an orange or something like that. But it's interesting. Like the littlest time I've been sick for the past 2 weeks. This is like the third week of me being kind of down for the count. But and I'm not down for the count. I've been up this week. But just the being able to like pick a healthier choice because my taste buds are like, girl, this is not even real. So that's kind of like working in my benefit to a degree, to a degree. So I'd say that's my wellness win, and I'm getting a little bit more sleep. Yeah, I'm
That's
getting a
good.
bit more
I'm
sleep.
proud of you. Even a little bit more means a lot. It means a lot.
Mm,
Tamisha Wellness win. Even though I'm sick and shut in, I still took all my tests and to continue to study.
you
So I
go,
won by
girl.
still pushing instead of shutting down completely. Way to persevere. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. Keep going.
yeah,
Keep
get
staying
it done.
focused. And I think a
And get
lot of
your
times,
rest, Tanisha.
right? But a
Get
lot
your
of times
rest,
people
Tanisha,
think
because you're.
about like their physical well-being has to
Yeah.
stop them from the other things that they can do. So since your physically might be down, her mental must still be sharp in there because she's still studying, she's still taking her tests and doing what she needs to do. So I think having that balance and not taking that opportunity to just totally shut down if there's things that she needed to do. Because I remember her telling us she got a new job and she passed all her tests. So I know it means a lot to her to be able to still keep performing in some way, shape, form, or fashion, despite what her physical well-being might be. But I think that's dope. I think that's dope. But I agree. She definitely need to get a rest so she can bounce back.
Tanisha, get your rest, because when your physical is down, your mental is going to be tired. And if you're overexerting yourself, it'll take sometimes more energy to get some of that. Like, congratulations on getting it done, but get your rest, girl, because these people be replacing people. So you make sure you get your rest, take your rest. When you're sick, take your sick day. Take it, because when they're sick, they take their sick day. Like, you know what I mean? They will bring somebody in the next day. So you
Shireen
take
is
your time.
preaching rest, y'all. Shireen
Take
is
your
preaching
time.
rest. Look at this year, guys.
Don't
Shireen
overexert
used to be
yourself.
hustling and overdoing it all year, and towards the end of the year, now Shireen is take your rest, take your day. Yeah, look at Shireen's growth. That's what I'm talking about. It's valuable.
Take your
rest.
rest.
It is too valuable.
No, you know, Giovanni, I think what I take for granted, or what we don't take into consideration is, and I think I might have said it last week. I know I've been saying it to other people offline, but like, I went from working a full-time job to working a full-time job and having a business, to being laid off to having a business. There was no break. There was no vacation. I thought I was getting just a little tired in September. No, I was done then. I'm overbaked now. And if I was still working a full-time job, they would see me as like underperforming. And if I'm sick, it'd be underperforming. Take your rest, because they will mark your asses up, write your asses up. They will. They will. Let's be real. Let's be real. Take your rest, because guess what? When your boss is sick, guess what they do? They call in sick and let their employees do the work. So take your rest. Don't overexert.
I like that you brought that up, because that was something that I was reflecting on today, was just like corporate and their priority with wellness and their employees, and how do they provide and support, because we know absenteeism and productivity and retention can be a huge issue for them to address. So I can definitely see how you prioritizing your well-being, and then also having corporate and employers also, you know what I mean, support that and give you tools and resources. I think that would be ideal for that to make happen. But all right, y'all, today we are talking about how valuable is reflection, how valuable is reflection, and just kind of reflecting over our year. And Shireen kind of just got it started just now, going from her transition into corporate and having a business, then into just having a business. And then her business wasn't just like a online virtual business. It turned into brick and mortar for her. And so it was a totally different vibe than what she was used to having when she did have a corporate job. And so she kind of reflected on hers. For me, this year, I saw a lot of growth into my podcast and really getting like different guests. Like January, it was, on this same break, reading a book, and in that book, seeing a character with polycystic ovary syndrome, and then talking about that book and seeing, being able to see that journey, and then getting the author to come on the podcast. It was like a vibe. And then the podcast guest ended up having our journey of strength with fibroids. And then it led into, fruit and vegetables, and seeing another podcast guest with getting in a fruit and vegetable challenge. And so then we and Shireen in March did a 3-day raw. And that went 220 days for me. And that got me like in-person mukbang interviews with a local restaurant. And so that partnership kind of got developed. And so it was just like putting my brand now out in the streets, and then having my first vendor opportunity in May at a prostate cancer symposium. And that was like fun. And so it was a lot of firsts this year, but it was a lot of me doing things differently, or taking my own personal experiences, documenting them, making those connections of some of the people who might have spearheaded those initiatives or activities, or just allowing people to come on a journey with me. So like mono fasting in September, on apples and watermelon was easier for me than when I tried grapes in February and I didn't even last like 3 days, And so it's like my growth, my evolution, my healing journey has definitely been a major evolution for me this year. And if it wasn't for anybody else, it was still for me. And then being able to help other people just by my own experiences and hearing those testimonies and getting those testimonials, it feels good to know that I have something of value. And I think this year has been a year of gearing up the confidence and knowing that I have something valuable. And I'm knowing that first before expecting someone to pay into that. You know what I mean? And I think that's a big thing. So people on a new journey into entrepreneurship or running an organization, sometimes the foundation is in with you gaining your confidence, with you getting clarity on the type of thought leader you want to be, where you want to take your organization, building the foundation within yourself to get organized, to understand your process, your system, to know what your brand even looks like. I know Tamisha was talking about her jacket that she created for her brand. Like you, Shireen, helped me create my Shopify store to launch it in April. And like, even if it's me and 2 other people who bought merch so far, like it's been powerful for me to wear my own merch. And because I know how much value is behind my own brand. And so I can only imagine what that's going to look like come next year. And so it's really not about how many other people buy into you before you buy into you and you believe in you. And you like it, the confidence comes before the currency. And I think that has been a big lesson for me, is because so many times, and we've been in some communities and spaces where all we hear about is the money. And so we start to feel like we're underperforming, or we're not doing something right, or we're missing out on something, or we're not having the right tool set because we're not making the monthly figures that other people in that same space is making, when everything has its place within its journey. And so it's hard. It's easy to get caught up in that when you're able to see what everybody else is doing and how they're doing it and what they're putting out, versus you just really leaning into your journey and trusting yourself and where you're taking something based on what's placed in your heart and who you are as a person,
Yeah.
And shout out to Sports Sense. I think her Big Up Your Biz has played a huge role on me being able to have that confidence online, to be able to say who I am, who I help, and reflect on, my experiences with my podcast and businesses, and then locals and the food experiences, and then getting on live. Like shout out to us, Shireen, like having a wellness live series that didn't miss a Thursday all year. That's big, because when it started, it was we didn't want to go live. We didn't know what it looked like to go live. What are we gonna say every time we get on? And we have a community where people come and vibe with us every week, every other week. They catch the replays, they share their wellness wins with us. And I don't take that lightly at all, because clearly they see some type of value or relatability in what it is that we do, that they want to be a part of it,
Yeah. One, I thank you for the Thursdays. I mean, we do it together, but you really kind of like, all right, what we doing, girl? All right, what we doing? And we both kind of ask each other what we're doing, but even when I'm not feeling it, like you're here, right? You are here. So, and then shout out to our accountability sisters, Sports Sense and the Activity Playhouse, because they will sub a sister in at any moment in time. They will sub a sister in, right? So I love that. They're doing their thing on their platforms as well. Shout out to you for just being consistent, Giovanni. Just being completely consistent and dedicated to your podcast. You've had so much growth in your numbers, in your engagement. You really thugged it out and like had stuff every single week. And not only every single week, you got to a point where you were like, I'm recorded. And I'm like, damn, girl, get your rest. But like, you were like on that ish like all the time, so much so that you like basically created a backlog so you could take some time for yourself and look at, okay, what else can I be doing? So that takes some dedication, because they say a lot of people don't get past what, like 10, 11 or something like that. And you're out
Yeah.
here well past 50, 60s. You're out here, your numbers are like, if not just under 500 or just over 500. So if you're not subscribed to Giovanni, help her get past that threshold over 500, because she's there. Let us blink and let's see it. You know what I mean? And that opens up the criteria to hit different thresholds for other goals within your business. So you were also very, as you talked about the lives there, you have been doing multiple lives. Somebody actually called me today and said, "Oh, I saw Giovanni outside with her dog." Actually, I got a call this week about it, and then last week, they were talking to somebody, and they were like, "Oh yeah." I think they were talking to Cookie Brown, and Cookie was saying, "Oh yeah, Giovanni's out here doing her thing." So like, people watch and pay attention, but people also can say, "Oh yeah, I see them working. I see them working." So it is right, Team Spencer. Absolutely, Spencer got his own crew. It's good to be recognized, but as you said, it starts from within first.
Mm.
Um, but we are going. Are we going into our no? Are we going into our third year as accountability sisters? No, this our second year. No, I'm confused. We're going into our third year?
Yeah, this is our second year because we did podcast summit last year, so we're going to
Mhm.
no. Mm-hmm. So it was last year.
That's big.
Yes.
That in
Also,
itself is big.
year.
Yeah, that in
Yeah.
itself is big.
So
Like, the time flies, and I'll say another thing, Giovanni. I know you're a teacher, and by nature you study, right?
mm,
Like, as a teacher, by nature you study. And girl, you study. Like, Giovanni's out here in the courses. She out here invested in herself, invested in the business. You study, and like, you're always looking at what's the next thing. You sent something today, and I was like, not me, I'm sleeping. And you were like, what about this? And I'm never heard of it. Don't care. Put the phone down. I don't care. Like, shut up. But
because
Giovanni,
y'all are more tech savvy than I am. So I was just like, I don't know about this. Y'all let me know if y'all found out what's the cheat code.
but you're out here, right? Like, so you
Right.
are investing. So big ups to you for just like putting in the work when it comes to your business, and yeah, and building your confidence in your business, and
I
building it.
needed that, Shireen. Like you made a good point, like with the recording, and there's a season into the summertime, into that
Mhm.
fall, and then it just dies down because everybody gets into that holiday mode, and you don't have like all these guests wanting to promote themselves, their products, or participate in a lot of things. And I was doing good with the reps with the podcast, but people didn't see the business side. And the whole point of the podcast was to promote the business, get brand awareness, and I wasn't doing a great job with that aspect yet. And so, like the last few months, I've really just been focusing on the Healthy Habits and Lifestyle Coach Giovanni versus just the Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast, even though every week there's an episode that drops. And I really wanted to take that moment to dive and reflect and make that connection so people know who I am and who I'm for, if that makes sense, and how I could help. And being able to get those reps in, again, thanks to Sports Sense with Big Up Your Biz
Mhm.
and the community that comes every Thursday, it gives me that opportunity to keep showing up. And the more you are consistent, the more people get that opportunity to get to know you and know, like, what do you have to offer? But most importantly, who are you? Like, people got to know who you are first. Like, they don't just go straight into the store and go to an aisle and pick something up and then go buy it. Like, they kind of have to know that they need the product and what's all in the product, what they have to get for it. But something else you said that stood out was like, people are watching, and they are. I had a coworker at a former school in Florida that said, you keep me inspired on my juice flow. and I love it. Had no idea he was even juicing. You know what I mean? And like no one ever tells you those things until I was like, hey, I was just checking on you, checking on your daughter. My aunt asked about you. And then, he gave me the update on his daughter and life, and then was like, yeah, and I appreciate the motivation with my juicing. You keep me on it with juicing. Had never known. So like you said, like people are watching, they
Got
may
the
not always
silent watchers.
yeah, they might not be engaging. They might not react
Mhm.
to the things that you put out there, but just knowing every now and then that it's helping someone, it makes me want to do it more. And so, like, if you're somebody who's getting value from someone, or you're proud of someone's journey and it's inspired you, every now and then, just let them know. Just let them know. And you don't even have to write the comment and say it. You can just like the video or like the content that they put out, just so they know that this is something people like and want to keep providing you, because they don't know what it is that people like if they don't like give that feedback. So I definitely appreciate.
I'm gonna say engage. Engage. Don't be mofos out here. Engage. I'm almost at fuck a leg. Engage. Don't be mofos out here, because um just like Giovanni said, we won't know. We can't read your minds. And you're out
And
here, you're watching, you're participating, like you in, and so we appreciate that, right? And if you're getting some value, engage. Let's have a whole conversation about this value. Let's have a whole conversation about what works, what helps, what doesn't, what you're scared of, what you want to try. Engage. Let's converse. Let's do it. That's how we know you're real. Because you could be botting it out here. Engage. Don't be
oh my
mofos out here in these streets.
God, with the bots.
Right?
Agreed. We will not know.
Yeah.
We would
Engage.
not know. So it felt good though. It felt good to reflect. Before we got on today, I really just kind of wrote down like every month, kind of what I was able to do. And I think like in October was when I did this October content challenge, and I had to do like TV show commercials, and that was like the most I've ever promoted my own stuff, like the Shopify website to get merch, my anti-inflammatory guide link, and my toolkit. Like I never put myself out there. I used to post everybody else's content, everybody else's stuff in my stories. I wasn't speaking on the stuff that I had. And so that October, November, December really shifted into allowing more people to know who I am and what I had. And so like I really am appreciative that we did this episode tonight to reflect over the year, and how valuable reflection is, because sometimes we're looking at the dollar amount. How much did you make this year? What did it look like for you? How many offers did you put out? How many people got that? And for some people, it's what keeps the doors open and the lights on when it's a brick and mortar. You know what I mean? And that's all you have. And there are people, and shout out to those entrepreneurs that put it all on the line, that don't have a 9-to-5 or some other job that provides them that safety net, that entrepreneurship is all they have. And so it might risk them their house, their car, some part of their livelihood, because they're going all in on this journey. So I just kind of wanted to say, y'all keep going. Really take the time to reflect over these 365 days of this year, the things that you were able to accomplish. Do an achievement inventory journal log to talk about all the things you were able to overcome, that resilience that you had, the job you no longer work at that didn't deserve you, and now you're at some place that you really feel valuable. Take care of you. Just really give yourself that moment before 2025 comes to really just reflect on all the things that you were able to overcome, accomplish, and then the things you want and you deserve for 2025, and figure out how you're going to go after those things, to stay focused and ready for it.
I hear you. Well, for me, or is there more you want to say first before I go into me, or what?
That was it. That was it for me.
For me, it has been a year, and it's been a good year. It's been a year of learning, really learning how to do things. Um, Coming from corporate for like the last 20 years, even being laid off, it's like I kind of knew it was coming, but also, and wanting it, but also I loved my job. Um, when you really enjoy what you do, when you are no longer able to do it, or you're no longer doing what you're doing, especially when you're in the midst of building something. We were in the midst of building something big. We were in the midst of planning bigger things. My portfolio was going to be growing. Um, you mourn a little bit of it. You mourn a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of you what you used to do, right? So because it's like a new chapter, and then when you have a salary job, when you get laid off and you're at a certain position, you get like a severance. So, and which is like a bulk of money, right? But it's almost like a cushion. So you don't necessarily stop, you don't necessarily change your mind frame as yet because you were getting paid, and then you still have that cushion. So things are still pretty much the same. And at some point in the springtime, I had to really stop and be like, oh shit, I need to learn how to make money. Right. And so you can put together all the offers you want, but if you don't sell an offer, right. And so from the get, I was making, I had clients and everything, but not necessarily for podcasting. So I had clients for other things that I have expertise in. Um, and I wasn't really sure pricing. Like, let's talk tactical things. Pricing has been my probably biggest learning all year round, right? Just pricing. And then it's like, okay, how do I market myself? So learning how to market yourself. How do you get out there? Which events do you sponsor? How do you maximize your time at an event? Some of those learnings didn't come until after the event, right? When you're at the event, sure, I'll do this, but oops, I forgot to get you to sign up to my newsletter. So, you know, how do you maximize that time? What does the space look like? I'm doing podcasting, so I would set up a podcast space. Now, that is actually nothing new to me because I had been, before I had the studio, on the road podcasting. So setting up a space was nothing new, but I had to learn new cameras because my cameras weren't cutting it. I had to learn lighting because I had this grainy like you see right now because I'm at home and I'm on my Mac, and my Mac's lighting is garbage. So I have this little dongle light on the side of my computer, but like I had to learn lighting. Asking Omar from Think Media at that time, what's the best lights? Or I
Now
went
it's the video department.
the video department, right? Having a one-on-one conversation with him at a conference and be like, yo, homie, I got everything you just mentioned. I actually have like one up of everything you just mentioned, but what's up my light? I can't figure out you just need to do this. I was like, say less. Came back, bought the equipment. Now my light is like bam, 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 spectacular, right? Got that Krispy Kreme.
I gotta say something on that part. You have done a really good job of putting yourself in rooms. And the more you've placed yourself in rooms, the more people have wanted you to be in other rooms. And know that your determination, your grit, and your hustle, they see how hard you're working, and they want to make sure, not even if you're not in a room, that you have a seat at the table. And not just talking podcast summit, because we did that the last 2 years, but even going to that podcast conference in Washington, D.C., and running rooms and the different things that you did out there. Like, you've expanded your reach and put yourself in different places, and you did whatever it took to get there. And every time you went to those places, you came back a different version of yourself. Because of having those experiences. So I know you talked about my consistency with podcasting and showing up every single week and doing all of the things, but that I think has been one of your biggest things this year, is getting into rooms that you never even thought of, even the ones you didn't even want to be in. And like, all right, I don't even feel like going, and then going and getting something out of it. And so I hope that you give yourself that time to truly reflect on all the rooms that you've been in and the places that you've been able to be impacted at the first year of your studio. And so it's only up from here. So I just wanted to make sure I say that before you go too far in and I miss the opportunity.
No, I appreciate that. I do need to still sit down and make like an inventory of all the things that I've done and really kind of reflect on, okay, what was the ROI? What was the benefit of this? Do I want to do this again? Would I invest in this? What would I like to do something? How would I do it differently? Um, how did I benefit from it? Like, I think, and where was the missed opportunities, right? I don't have
Mhm.
an overhead, so I need to think about making money, but more aggressively, right?
Right,
Even to build the confidence to ask for the dollar, even to build the confidence. I give out so much information for the free, and I always feel it. And the reason I feel it is because I've been in corporate spaces where I wasn't getting either paid enough or I was getting underpaid compared to maybe colleagues, to the point where I worked myself up to get paid what I thought was enough and then still found out I was underpaid. So I'm very conscious about that. But
right,
also, when you live your life how you want to maintain that lifestyle, right? And
right.
I've had so many thoughts of like corporate studio, corporate, can I do a corporate and studio? How do I do it to maintain things, right? And then honestly, from September to December, I've had like depression when it comes to like finances, because it's like shit is hitting the fan. Shit is hitting the fan. So it has been real out here in these entrepreneur streets. It has been real, but it's all a learning. So much so, like, I know I'm the villain in somebody's story, and I know whose story too, but it's like there's learnings of like what I can do better, what I can do faster, how do I get help so I can expand. Um, I don't know if I mentioned here or in our group chat that my son has been saying to me for months to change my photography room into a second podcast room. So we're doing it. We are officially making a second podcast room, right? My photography room is not, it's not cutting it. It's just not giving me enough money where my podcast room is. I did a I've done a few great things, like I've produced a lot of podcasts. I actually wanted to count them. I forgot to count them, but maybe I'll do that on my own reflection videos. How many shows I've produced this year? How many
Come
shows?
on, producer
Right?
Shireen.
How many shows I've produced, and how many shows I produce, and how many episodes I produce that are not my own. But when my clients come in the studio, like it, you seen the smile, it brings me so much joy. And they're like, "Oh, my producer, my producer, my producer." And I'm like, "What?" But it feels so good. And I always tell people that I'm the wall. When people say, if these walls had ears, listen,
Oh,
baby, these ears be listening. They be listening to all kinds of conversations in that studio. Thank you. Oh, shoot. They be listening. And sometimes the feedback to my clients is go deeper. Go deeper with that conversation. You could have double clicked on that and said, well, what about this? This is, I would have loved to hear how this was. I would have loved to hear how this. I am listening to the studio is called Perspective Studio Productions. I am listening to so many perspectives on a topic. And when my clients are done recording, honey, I just keep that record on. We just keep that button record. And then the real conversation comes out. The real conversations, the behind the scenes conversation. And we get some of that deeper. And so it is such an honor. Like, it's such a privilege to be in the room and to hear the vulnerability and just to hear the share. um One thing I am very, very conscious of is the self speak.
mhm.
is the self speak. And I'll probably start with that accreditation to Donnie, because she was really like, well, we're not going to do is this. Well, we're not going to do, we need to do this positive, positive from a year ago. And I really started to feel alignment with that coaching style, that I can now pay that forward without even thinking. Any of my clients come in there and they say something where it's that limited thoughts, I'm like, oh, no, 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 we're not doing that. If any of my clients come on and they say, oh, I'm a mess. No, no, not my friend. You better watch how you speak about her. Now, my client, you better watch how you speak about her, because that is not true. So there is like this goodness and this joy that's happening in that space. I love my studio. I am so grateful for my studio. I love being in the space. When people come in this space, they talk about, oh, the energy in here. This is such a vibe. And the room we use is the Foxy Brown room. It's very retro chic, as I like to call it. And then we're changing up the space, the Sade room, right? But it feels so good to be a small seed or a small part of helping people get their story out. Be a small part of helping people elevate their voice, amplify their voice. My year has been so great in that sense. So, so great. And I am looking forward to more shows, more shows, more shows. I'm looking forward to original shows. I am looking forward to getting on the mic, back on the mic. I was sick, but if I wasn't sick, we would have had one of our episodes down. But even having deeper conversations for myself. And it's funny because I know the type of conversations. I've been reaching out to the different people, to organize our upcoming conversations. But like, I know where we're going in this deeper conversation. And yeah, I'm just excited for it. And then when it comes to my clients, I will say, when we go back to like pricing, charging your worth. Charge your worth at that time, and then if you need to increase it, increase it. Charge your worth at that time and get your money. Ask for that. I'm at the point where I'm saying to my clients, but I'm gonna need you to start making some money. I'm gonna need you to start making some money. Don't be coming up in here, booking this space, and not getting and not having a call to action on your show.
That's very important. And I'm glad they have you producing and allowing them to know that this isn't just a space to have a conversation, but to know that you want your listeners to have an intention
Yes.
After receiving, this insight.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of
They
times
have something to
don't
offer.
tell us that at the beginning. Like they, have your voice, own your voice, go out there and have that conversation, get it flowing. And then you come back a year later and it's okay, this is a business. And these are the things that should have been happening. Like they're adding to it after the fact, when you have somebody as experienced as you are, that's been in so many different podcast rooms, and podcasters have poured into you to be able to say you need a CTA every time you had it. And I can only imagine, think about how many episodes I recorded without asking someone to do something. Other than, hey, make sure you subscribe to the channel or share this with somebody that you appreciate or you feel like would get something out of this. But the beautiful part about creating content is it's always there. And so once it's created, it's there for anybody to be able to get. It's there for you to repurpose into a blog, into more clips of what those highlighted spots are. And so I love that you are making sure they have that intention, that call to action. So I think my thing, and I thought about it too earlier today and this week, is having value-based pricing, but making sure it's of the value that they're going to get out of it, as well as how is it going to be valuable for you to keep doing what it is that you have put in place for yourself and to reach
what you're planning to do too.
Their goals, your goals, both need to be of value in order to provide. And I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, if you have an offer, then absolutely. And if you don't, then that's okay too. But like, even for me, like, less free coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Less free coaching. That's just great. We got in our reps. You got all these ideas. You got all these, but
And
now
that goes back into your process. Oh, you want to talk to me? Book a call. That call is
that's
only
it right
15
there. That
minutes
part
or
right there.
30 minutes. And then after that, if you want to keep going further, now it's that. So it's really
Yeah.
a part of your system too, because sometimes people can take that opportunity to just come and talk to you and you don't even realize you're pouring into them something that's coaching or mentorship related that you could charge for. And so having that first interaction, I think, is important, but it being a part of your process and not just having any type of access to you allows you to make sure that you are able to navigate and have total power into your creativity and value that you're giving out.
Yeah, and you wanna feel good about your time. Like, I know I've had conversations 2 hours, 3 hours, and it's like I don't. I actually feel good given the information. I feel good helping. I really do. But if I'm helping and you are going to now expand and make money off of all of this, what part of it? It doesn't always have to be transactional. Let's just start there. But I'm a business person. And at the end of the day, I have to look at, I sell time. I legit sell time. I sell hours, right? When you book in time in the studio, you're buying hours. So if I spend 2, 3 hours with you and I'm not getting paid for those hours, what am I doing with my time? And I don't got to get paid for all of those hours, but we need to be conscious of how much time in a year are you willing to give? And then how much time where you need to actually set up boundaries for yourself so that you can get compensated appropriately for that time, right?
That
And
was a big one for you when it comes to reflection for this year,
yeah, you
because
got
there were so many people that kind of came about as if they were networking or having this different type of vibe. Or let me just ask you a quick question, and then it turned into now all of a sudden you're doing this, you're doing that, and now you're setting up this. You took this value and now you're creating a business transaction from it, and all these different things. So that too was definitely a big reflection moment for you in regards to how you show up in spaces, and then creating that process. Listen, it ain't gonna be this
we
or
got to
that.
think about like what we're doing, and just like that's, I think a lot of that is like caring about your self-worth, right? Like your own self-worth.
And being
So,
aware of it,
well,
because
that's
sometimes
that's
you're
what I'm
not
saying.
aware
Yeah, that's
to
what I'm
people.
saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is like self-caring about it. That is being aware of it, right? If not, you're just giving out this time. So a lot of my reflection has come with like, how can I be better for clients? Because I know where I've slacked. I've learned on my equipment. I had bought one camera 3 times,
Mm.
right? And it was not a cheap camera until I had to listen, even though they were telling me, and actually upgrade to something that applied to what I was doing, right? I had to learn how to price, and also hear other people that do what I do, how they price. And sometimes you have people telling you what to do that don't do what you do, right? And so you need to know that you can listen with a grain of salt. As I've been told, you hear with a grain of salt and then you keep pushing, make up your own mind. But
Because it's your journey and
yeah,
it's what you make it of.
yeah. So there's a lot to learn, but at the end of it, I'm so excited for the new year. So Giovanni, let's just go into like a couple of questions for each of us.
I
Um,
thought you was about to say, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Okay, I'm ready.
no, no, because I feel like we both kind of just went into our stuff, but I wanted to go into what would you say is your biggest learning for 2024? Wait, that you, what would maybe this is the same question. What's your biggest learning, like something you would do differently in 2025?
I would do differently in 2025. I would have more effective messaging. So the people I am for know I'm talking to them and have what it is that they're looking for, instead of just coming here and talking and being like, here's my life. This is what I'm doing. So speaking more on being more relatable with the pain points and what I've been able to do in regards to helping myself and helping other people. So I would say having clear messaging and allowing my journey to be just as clear to be able to allow other people to turn their pain into their power and empower them to prioritize their well-being and not just here's my journey. Y'all, I did a mono fast. Y'all, I went raw. Like, how has this really been helping me and how can it help you? And so guiding people and making them the hero of their journeys. And so I would do that differently, my messaging.
Okay.
That goes with CTAs.
Okay. I
What
think,
about you?
yeah, I think that I was going to say one, but as you're talking, I can think of just my top three: planning better so that my marketing can be better, and then planning better so I'm not stuck, right? So planning better so my marketing can be better. So, like, investing in those ads, and then more. And what was the one? Oh, it's time to hire.
Mm.
It's time to hire because I can move faster once I hire. It's time to build a team, right? Like, oh shit, and systems. But I'm working on systems right now. So hire because I can take on more. I can spit out faster. It's definitely time to hire. Yeah.
I like that you said it's time to hire. I agree with that. I wouldn't say hire. Definitely routine. I am meeting with people tomorrow to work on like my goals, like my whole business pro worksheet, and then document like creating a routine for myself. So it takes away the overthinking and getting easily distracted and not knowing what to post, not knowing what to say, not knowing what would be relatable for people and what part of my day would be beneficial. So definitely having a routine so I can have more value over my time. And so that is a big thing too, once you said that. And just wanted to, before you go to that next question, shout out to Misha saying she definitely appreciates us for giving advice, wisdom, and experiences to help her grow her Double Dutch brand.
Love
No
it.
financial gain, but just focusing on getting names
Yeah.
and face out to the world. And that's what it's all about. And a lot of times, again, people think about the money and it's more about the confidence and the clarity and the culture that comes before the currency. And so just stay true to who you are and how you want to lead and make an impact on this world, and everything else will fall into place in the right time. So
And
trust the journey.
I'm going to say no financial gain yet because next year, Tamisha, you are going to
Yeah.
be okay. I need my money. That's going to cost. I need my money. That's going to cost. I need my money. Can I get paid? I need my money. Let's go. That's what's
Thank
happening.
you. Cheers. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got
Okay.
the
Well,
next question for us?
I did. Hold on. Let me think.
Come on, Cheers. I appreciate you showing up, bro.
I kind of forgot the question, but okay. So we did what we're gonna change, basically. What are you looking forward to next year?
What am I looking forward to? Oh, I'm looking forward to in-person events, more in-person events, collaborations. I'm looking more into those things, going to different organizations, like the collaborations and in-person vibes. That's what I'm looking forward to for next year.
Okay.
Got to get outside. Got to get outside.
Yeah. I remembered one thing I was going to add is getting in the gym more because in order for me to I always have to carry a lot of stuff. I got a lot of bags and shit. So just keeping my physicality up. I'm looking forward to partnerships, baby. Partnerships. I am so looking forward to these partnerships. I got some things lined up and I am so excited about it. Oh, you know what I'm looking forward to? Grants.
Ooh!
Bring me that money. Give me my money. Give me my money. Yes, we TikToking it
Right.
out here. I'm looking forward to those grants. Bring me my money. Go apply to your grants. Go apply to your grants. They don't come if you don't apply to them. You might hear
Mm.
no 1,001 time. Go apply to those grants because they will roll in.
You ain't looking for the no, you're looking for the.
Shmoney.
Okay. I was thinking more like the yes, here's your money, but
That's the
got
yes.
it.
The shmoney.
Got it. You got it.
Yep.
That works. Okay. I'm
What else?
ready.
What else? I'm looking forward to taking care of me more.
You deserve that, Shireen.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah, I'm looking
Hmm.
forward to taking care of me more. And like you said, that routine, like getting up
And
and
maybe that's what I know. Our shoot said that she's been asking us for a challenge. So maybe that's maybe what we should base it off of, how we're taking care of ourselves. How are we being intentional with that care, that well-being, even if it's a weekly check-in for the month. And sometimes it's that slow things that happen because you might say, oh, I want to do this many times in a week. And it's like you haven't figured out how to habit stack that yet. Like,
yeah,
how do you fit that into your
get
actual
in.
day? Maybe us doing a monthly thing, and finding one monthly wellness goal to better take care of ourselves, and then kind of showing up for our wellness wins through the week and say, how did that go?
Mhm.
How are you successful with that? How did it feel? What do you need to try differently? I
Yeah,
think that could possibly be what we do, because like you said, everybody needs to take care of
everybody.
themselves a little bit more, and that looks differently based on where you are in your journey and what you're navigating through in this thing called life. But we're here together to
Absolutely.
thrive and not just survive. So we'll
Absolutely.
definitely reflect on that, y'all. Definitely reflect. Take what you gathered from our experiences, what you were able to engage within the comments. Thank y'all so much for vibing with us on this Thursday. So many people came through to show love, and engagement and support. And so we definitely appreciate y'all. So make sure you reflect and then figure out what is one thing in the month of January that you want to commit to better take care of you. One thing, not think about a whole bunch of different things, but just one thing. And we're going to talk about that next Thursday. Put it out there, get support around how we're going to navigate those things if support is needed to be creative. And that is how we're going to knock this thing out and to get this 2025 not just survive, but to thrive.
I'm
Wellness.
live.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
excited. I'm definitely. I've been excited. As you one, I remember a couple of shows ago. You're like, Shireen, you've been in 2025.
insane.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so freaking excited for the new year. I think planning is going to be like the best way to be successful. Like I'm going to sit down. I have a plan. I've had a couple of planning sessions booked all that have passed, and I have one coming up next week. But just to sit with myself over the next few days and just really think about what I need to do, and then getting my CRM up, because that is going to, my whole back end is changing so I could be more efficient, for myself, for my own time. It's running okay, but too much manual stuff. So I'm excited. I'm excited to put out services out there. I'm excited for it all, Giovanni.
I'm excited for all of us. We got a lot of people that vibe with us each and every week coming through. Some this might be their first live. So I'm just excited about what 2025 has for all of us. So let's just keep vibing,
Get it.
keep vibing,
Get
keep
it.
showing up, keep
Get
being
it.
intentional about being intentional, and
Get
keep
it.
loving on you, and give yourself grace when you don't meet the
Ooh.
things that you want to meet. But all right, you ready to check us out?
No, I have I have it here. My word is my word. So think about this for for next week's show, which I think next week is what, the second when we come on. I've been meaning to look at the date. Yes, next week is January the 2nd. Okay, so this year my word was grace. That's why I said ooh, because you said my word. My word was grace for 2024. And I love to have me and my family pick our own individual words to represent the year. I have said the word grace throughout. It was a reminder. I would say it out. Other people have said it to me, right? Giovanni just reminded me again just by saying it. So think of what your word will be for 2025 that will hold you through and almost be like the theme. You don't need to answer now. Bring it to next week's call on the Thursday. Think about what your word will be to get you through 2025. When someone says something or when you walk away from them and you're like, nah, nigga, I'm giving grace. So think about what your word will be. My word won't be grace next year. It might be abundance. I don't know. I have to think about my word. What does 2025 represent for you? Think about that word, write it down, be intentional so you hit your goals, whatever they are, with that word. All right, I'm ready.
Okay. All right, let's get it.
All right, I'm going to pop it here and then I'm going to read it because I queued it up for us and I didn't even read it yet. I am strong and steadfast in my vision. I am blessed and grateful for my path. I know that where I am right now is exactly where I need to be. I have fortitude to manifest my dream life. Run it back one more time. I am strong and steadfast in my vision. I am blessed and grateful for my path. I know that where I am right now is exactly where I need to be. I have fortitude to manifest my dream life. Go out there and say your prayers. Write your shit down, what you want. Go out there and manifest. Get what you want. I'm serious. I'm dead ass serious. I'm getting everything I want. Everything. And believe me when I say it, with this energy that I say it in, I believe myself. So believe in yourself and go out there and get everything that you want. When we have this conversation at the end of every month, I'm gonna be like, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. And we ain't stunting on each other. We're clapping for each other. So go out there and get everything you want. Write that thing down. Write it down, believe it, feel it, say it, remind yourself, feel it when you say it. That's that energy. You feel this energy. You feel this energy right here. You feel this? Don't make me Dragon Ball Z you. You feel that energy? That's the energy you need to have when you're thinking about your goals and what you want. Go out there and get it. Because let me tell you, I'm getting mine.
And do the work. If there's a little bit of doubt, hesitation, fear that kind of gets you a little like, okay, this is what I said I want. Do I deserve it? Do I go for it? Don't let self-sabotage take you in 2025. So stay focused and do the work to work on the things that cause you doubt, cause you fear, causes you to feel like it's not yours and you're not worthy of it, because you are. So do the work to make sure that those dreams, those goals, those aspirations, and those affirmations that you say and you believe and come into you, do the work so you can get it.
Drink the water.
All right, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Herbal Tea Thursday, your wellness live series with your healthy habits and lifestyle coach Giovanni and Shireen Simon,
founder of Perspective Studio Production, Voices and Vibes and Black and Perspective Studio Production and Perspective Studio Production and Perspectives.
All right.
Have a good night.
Thanks for vibing with us.
Drink your water.
Check the show notes and provide some support. They got value in them things now, y'all.
Go ask for your money.
Thank you. Cheers. Later, cheers. Later, Nat.